Pros. These are the old style, and I have been wearing these most of my ballet lifetime. These shoes fit me the best. They are just the best pointe shoe, but unfortunately they have changed the style a little bit. So, I mean, they're not the same as these now. So if you did want to get these, I don't think you can get these anymore. And that is actually one thing I'm going to be looking this year, is to find another new great pointe shoe to wear for this year, as this style has changed and I'm not a fan of it, because it's just a lot different to these. I wore this style for so long and I absolutely just loved it so much. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about this one too much as you can't get it anymore. I just wanted to give some pointers and talk about the things I loved about this pointe shoe. So the first thing is the way it fit my foot. It really had a nice snug fit and did not gape at all on the heel or the sides. It was perfect. And it also has drawstring, and that is another major thing for me. I always have to have drawstrings, because if they don't, they will be very baggy on my feet, because I have very narrow feet, and that's one thing I look for a pointe shoe, is to find pointe shoes that fit my very narrow feet. Another key thing I really loved about this pointe shoe was the way I danced when I was on the top of the box. Now, this is a very different pointe shoe to normal pointe shoes, as the top of the box is slightly slanted. So when I go onto pointe, I actually slightly go more over the top and more forward. This really is a major thing for me, as I love to feel like I'm right on top of the box. It does help with my feet too, to keep them nice and pointed, and it just makes me feel lifted and more over the top, which is something I really like about this pointe shoe. And that's something I'm going to talk about more with the other pointe shoes, is the way I sit on the box. It is a major thing. Woo! And I definitely suggest finding something that makes you feel nice and comfortable. Find a pointe shoe to make you feel like you're right on top of the box. So yeah, that's the key things I love about this pointe shoe. Now, just a little con here. The one thing I don't really like about this pointe shoe is the color. I think it's a little bit too orangey, salmony color. I'm not a fan of that color, as it doesn't really match tights, because tights are a very theatrical pink that's even sometimes can be very pale. So this didn't really go with my tights very well, but of course it was good enough. It didn't look that bad. That is the Tiffany Pros. Now let's go on to another style. Now let's go on to another CAPEZIO shoe, and these are the ARIES pointe shoes. These are fairly new pointe shoes, so you can get them in stores now. Now, I wanted to talk about the reasons why I do not wear them and why I don't like these as much. Now, they do have some great perks about them, but for my foot, they do not feel right and they do not look good on my feet. Now, as I was saying before, my feet are very narrow, so the reason why I don't like these is because it makes my feet look very blocky, if that makes sense. I like a pointe shoe that makes it look very narrow and slim. These just made my toes look very wide. I mean, this pointe shoe could be amazing for any of you out there that have wider toes and just need a little bit more room. So that would be perfect if you have that type of foot shape. But for me, it just didn't look very nice. A pro about these is the color. I love this new color in CAPEZIO. Great color, goes really nicely with the tights. This, I think, was the major thing why this shoe did not suit my foot, was the way it felt when I was on top of the box. This shoe, for some reason, I don't understand why. Maybe it might be different for you. You might love the feeling, but I just hate it. I'm really sorry, but I hated the feeling when I was on the box. It almost felt like I was going backwards, which isn't very good for dancing. You want to be right on top, because if you are backwards, it just won't help you in dancing. So that's one thing why I didn't like this shoe. And then another reason why is because the, I'm not very good with my pointe shoe terms. This part of the shoe was very hard, and I found it very hard to roll up through demi-pointe up to pointe. But as I said again, if you really like it hard there, then this is your shoe. I'm sure this comes in a softer version, so maybe that might be nicer. But for me, this one, too hard there. I like it soft, so it's very nice and easy to go through the demi point. And just going off the hardness of the shoe, I just in general think the whole shoe is very hard. I'm a type of person who doesn't like to do a lot of breaking in, and I don't like to do that much to my pointe shoe. I would rather find a pointe shoe that is perfect, that I don't have to do anything to, and then I'm ready to go. And that's what my Tiffany pros were like. I could literally just put on ribbons and just start dancing. That's how easy it was. But for me, I'm not a fan of these really hard shoes and then you have to really break it in. I just find there's no point. Like, why buy a really hard shoe when you have to break it in to death? So that's just my opinion. But just to finish on a good note, I also do really like the suede material inside. Super comfortable and really soft. And also, again, it has a drawstring, which is perfect for my narrow feet. If you'd like to see if you like it or not, go out and try it, because you never know, it might be the perfect shoe for you. All right, now going into a very interesting shoe that I've had a love-hate relationship with, and that is the GRISHKO 2007 shoe. Now, with these, I remember getting my first pair of GRISHKOs and I absolutely loved them. It's been so long since I had that pair, but I have a feeling that GRISHKO was a different type of shoe and I really loved that shoe. That was before I tried the Tiffany's. Just loved it. But then I got these, and I'm not too sure if these were the same type or not. I think they were different, but not for me at all. I did not like this shoe at all, but I did like the other GRISHKO that I tried. I think one reason why I don't like these was because I got the wrong size. The pointe shoe lady gave me a size way too big, like a full size up, and I just, no. Do not get the wrong size. Make sure you get a shoe that fits you properly. But it's not just the size that I didn't like about this shoe. It didn't hug my foot like the Tiffany's do. They just felt a bit baggy and again a little bit blocky, and it didn't make my foot look lengthened and just slim and tight. It just, no. But a good thing about these I did enjoy was the strength of them. They weren't too hard that they were impossible to dance in, but they weren't too soft that I felt like I was sinking. So that was a good pro about them. I know lots of people like GRISHKOs, so I'm sure people will say, no, these are my favorite pointe shoes. I mean, I do like these in a way, but I think it's also the main reason why was because these were way too big on me. So maybe I need to go and get another pair a little bit smaller and try them out and see how I go. Alrighty, so now let's go on to my first ever pointe shoe. And it was the BLOCH Heritage. This was my first ever pointe shoe style, and this is actually my first ever pointe shoe. It's so cute. I was a size 3, that's how small I was. But I did really enjoy these when I did first start pointe. They are a great beginner shoe, definitely recommend. I haven't worn these in ages though, so I can't really remember how it was like. But the one reason why I also switched was because of the shank. I'm telling you, my ballet terms for pointe shoes are really bad. If I said that wrong, I'm really sorry, but the box part was way too short for my feet. I have very long toes in general. I feel like my toes weren't getting the right amount of support. I felt like they were too long for the box and it just wasn't keeping my feet secure. And the strength of the shoe was really, really great for when I was a beginner, but when I started to develop my skills on pointe, I found this shoe got way too soft for me. It took like 3 lessons and then it would get soft. So that's why I sadly had to change as well, because they were way too soft. Alright, moving on to 2 pointe shoes I haven't tried yet, but I have felt them, if you get what I mean. I have tried them on, and the first one is Freed. I don't know what style it is. I got these 2 from a friend, Prim, if you're watching. Thanks. I'm not exactly sure what style it is. I will put the name up here if it is a particular style, but I haven't danced in these yet. But these are beginning to be one of my faves. I do really like this pointe shoe a lot. Many things are going for it, but the only downfall is that these are super soft. I don't know why. I haven't even worn them yet. I'm not too sure why, but they feel very soft. But I do like the way these look on my feet. They do make my toes look very lengthened, and they do have a nice length of this part. Don't know what it's called. I think it's the vamp or the box or the shankle. I do like that part of it though. It's very nice and long. Only thing though, I think I could maybe draw the string in a little bit more because it's a little bit baggy on my foot. I do like the color, nice color, and it's just in general really nice shoe. I think I need to just try it out first properly because I've only worn them a little bit, so I don't know exactly. I will maybe do an update video on how I go on these. And the other shoe I haven't tried yet, but I would like to, are the REPETTO pointe shoes. Now, this is the Julieta style. Now, just off the bat, I don't like the color. Very fussy with the color, but this is way too pink. If it came in more of a goldish, more of a creamy color, I think that would be nicer. These do look very nice on my feet, I must admit they do. I think they're slightly short in this part of the box, but they do support my toes very nicely. That is a major thing on a pointe shoe, is to find a nice shoe that supports your foot and makes you feel good on it. Please do not buy a shoe that looks nice when you're just standing up there. Buy something that makes you feel secure when you are dancing, because that is the main thing about picking the right pointe shoe. So those are all the pointe shoes I have here today. I also just wanted to mention that I will be also trying out the Tiffany's without the Pro, the new style, because I would like to see if those are just a little bit more comfortable and not as hard, because the new style and the Tiffany Pros are very hard for me, and they're just a lot different. So hopefully just the normal Tiffany's will be good, because I really want to like them. So we'll see how that goes. I totally forgot about these. I also have the Développé pointe shoes from CAPEZIO, and these are a pointe shoe I like, but I feel like I don't. Now, the reason why I'm a little bit skeptical about it is, one thing when I'm dancing I feel is that when I'm on the box, I feel great, you know, perfectly fine, supported, feel lifted. And then when I go off point, for some reason I feel like my feet are trapped. That might seem really strange. I don't know if any of you have experienced that before, but for some reason this shoe makes my toes feel very cramped when I go off point again. So I'm a type of person who gets a lot of toe cramps. I mean, I touch wood, where's wood? I haven't gotten toe cramps in quite a while, but I feel like this shoe would tend to give me more toe cramps, as it makes my toes feel not very good. So that's one thing I don't really like about these pointe shoes. But everything else, I really like this pointe shoe. I like the color, I like the look on my foot. It still gives a nice lengthened effect, and it also supports my toes, except though I don't like the crunchy bit, really weird. I think this shoe would also be recommended to people with slightly shorter toes. It's a good strength as well. I really enjoy the strength. So yeah, all around this is a great pointe shoe. I really recommend it. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. I get those weird toe feeling sensation thing. I don't like it at all. I'm really picky, but I have to say, you have to be picky. If you know what's right on your foot, go for it. Don't choose any other pair. Just go for the one that feels good. I mean, I've had the experience with the Tiffany Pros. I love them so much. And it's going to be really hard to find another pointe shoe like them, because I love them so much. So for the giveaway portion, I'm going to get straight into it. You'll be winning a gold pair of pointe shoes that are signed by me. Now this is the pair of pointe shoes that I actually had in my boomerang video, if you saw my Instagram. And these pointe shoes were made at the same time as the red ones in my intro for 12 Days of Talia. I wanted to do this giveaway just for a fresh start of the year. Thank you for the support from 2017. I have had so much fun in the last year doing videos for you, and I hope I can do more for you this year. And I also wanted to say that I really enjoyed doing 12 Days of Talia. It was so cool, so maybe this year I could do it again. But for now, for all of your amazing comments and likes and everything you've done for me, I wanted to give back and give you these amazing pair of pointe shoes. So all you have to do to enter this competition is basically subscribe to my channel and leave one comment down below telling me what videos you want for the future. So basically that's all you have to do. It's super simple, and I will pin the winning comment down below in around about a weekish. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled in the comments section for when I do pin the winning comment. So make sure you enter the giveaway, and we will go back to my outro. So that is my roundup of my experience with pointe shoes. So I hope you did learn more about different types of pointe shoes, and I hope now you have an idea of what you would like in a pointe shoe. Make sure you do subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and also I'd love to know down below what pointe shoes you guys wear, so do let me know down below. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!